sinabi din ng ating Pangulo na mahalaga yung partnership between the ship owners and Filipino seafarers. Dahil sa ating kasaysayan, ang unang-unang OFW, sabi ng ating Pangulo, ay isang mandaragat o isang seafarer. Kaya doon naman sa Department of Migrant Workers, magbubukas tayo ng Japan Desk para lahat ng concerns ng mga Japanese ship owners, pati mga land-based employers dito sa bansang Hapon, ay diretso na sa amin sa Office of the Secretary at titiyakin namin na walang red tape at magiging maayos ang pagproseso. And yun ang tinatawag naman din ng ating Pangulo na dapat may whole of government approach sa pagtulong sa mga international partners ng ating bansa, lalo na ng ating mga OFWs. Kaya binanggit din niya na kaya nandoon si House Speaker Martin Romualdez at si Senate President Juan Miguel Zubiri para pakinggan at tumulong din sa executive branch sa pagpanday ng mga batas na makakatulong sa ating mga Filipino seafarers.
Tourism has always been highlighted as one of the most important, traditionally most important areas for which development is become a critical part of our economic life. In my first State of the Nation address, I have identified the tourism industry to be among the top priorities of this administration, anchoring to the fact that during pre-pandemic times, it contributed 12.9, close to 13% of the country's gross domestic product. We are banking on this potential to reshape the industry to be one of the key economic drivers of the country. We are well on our way to recovery. This, I assure you, with more than 2.65 million foreign visitors we have welcomed last year, that exceeding the initial target of 1.7 million. But more than just being a major economic driver, we see the tourism industry to be a great pillar that fosters a deep love and pride of our country.
We're very thankful to the President for making time for the tourism stakeholders of Japan, because this demonstrates that tourism really is a priority under the Marcos administration, and that the potential that Philippines and Japan hold in terms of exchanges in tourism is something that we have yet to fully maximize and will do so under his administration. So we shared our plans and programs under the Marcos administration with regard to how we intend to develop further the Japanese market, considering that prior to the pandemic, over 682,000 Japanese came into the Philippines. We are aware that they have an interest in certain tourism product offerings, including dive, as well as health and wellness, and English as a second language. And so to ensure accessibility and connectivity into the Philippines, we shared the efforts of the administration to engage in routes development negotiations so that we would be able to resume the flights that were halted prior to the pandemic, as well as add more flights, not only to Manila, but to other key destinations, including Cebu and other areas in the Philippines. We were also quite pleased to hear the insights of the Japanese stakeholders that expressed growing optimism for our offerings of English as a second language, recognizing the faculty of Filipinos for English. And so the effort under the Marcos administration is to ensure that we would make it as seamless as possible for us to entice more students to study in the Philippines, and that will entail our coordination with the Bureau of Immigration to be able to relax and liberalize policies in this regard. Our president also led the charge to ensure that travel advisories that are existing against the Philippines imposed by the government of Japan would be lifted, if not relaxed, especially considering the very stable peace and order situation of our country in areas including Mindanao. And so this exchange of ideas and opportunity to listen to the tourism stakeholders of Japan gave opportunities for our government to ensure that and in the President's words, not only do we recover the Philippines' position, but transform the Philippine economy and tourism industry post-pandemic.
Yeah, it will increase the economic activity in those three regions, and it will, of course, attract more foreign investors. Kasi in the past, we have underinvested in infrastructure. No? If I remember right, during the last 50 years, parang 2% lang ng GDP ang dinidevote natin sa ekonomiya. No? And as a result, we suffer in comparison with our ASEAN neighbors. Noong time ni Digong, we tried to start the yung build, no? So we devoted something like 5 to 6%. And ngayon pagpapatuloy pa natin. But with a twist, ngayon we will encourage the private sector to get involved in the Build Better More program of the President. Ang objective naman nun, because right now marami na talaga tayong mga ready to implement projects. Ito, mga siguro easily around 200 ready to implement projects. And this is only part of that.
I believe that the confidence building sits as one of the main reasons why we have been organizing these roundtable meetings, not only here in Japan, but around the world. And I believe that by initiating dialogue and addressing issues in an interactive and a proactive manner, we would hope to send a message of commitment towards the continued and smooth operations of all Japanese investors in the Philippines. We aspire to become hubs of excellence for sectors where we have a natural comparative advantage. We want the country to attain the status as a regional hub for printers, wiring harnesses, and other electronic goods.
This morning, we have met with 11 major Japanese companies that have investments in the Philippines. And the dialogue has enabled our Japanese partners to air their concerns and for us on the Philippine side to explain what we're doing to resolve their concerns.
The partnership between not only Mitsui but all of Japan and the Philippines has been a long-standing one. we can point to so many of the developments that happened in the Philippines with the assistance of the different Japanese funding agencies and government-to-government arrangements, commercial arrangements. And these have been to the benefit of both our countries. The partnerships, I think, that we have developed with our friends here in Japan, with Mitsui in particular, has been, are now, we will have to revitalize them. They have been dormant to an effect, to a degree, during the lockdowns of the pandemic. And we look forward to the discussions that we will be having here for the next few days, as we have great hopes that this will be a driver in the transformation of our economy.